And welcome back once again to our channel, Cooking with Love, Dishing with the Davises. How you doing out there? I am, of course, Augustus, and my lovely wife, unfortunately, is still feeling a little bit under the weather. She is doing better, but please say some prayers for her that she make a quick recovery. So I will be flying solo once again today, and today is going to be a dessert that definitely satisfies your sweet tooth. This is a recipe. I saw a recipe and decided to make some modifications and make it my own. So this particular recipe is my own recipe. This is going to be a lemon buttermilk cake with a lemon frosting. Many people have told me that this is a really good cake, so I'm very excited to make it for you today on the channel, and very curious to see once all of you make this recipe, and just very curious to see how it turned out for you and how you like it. So without further ado, let's get started on it. All right, as always, we're going to start off by giving you a rundown of all the different ingredients, in this case for both the cake and the frosting. We're going to start off with some flour, 5 eggs, buttermilk, and of course there's the Kelowna brand buttermilk, or the Kelowna brand of dairy products that I love, the juice and zest of 4 lemons, sugar, or in my case, raw sugar, powdered sugar, oil, and in this case, I love to use olive oil, baking powder, baking soda, and some salt. And as always, I will post the exact recipe in the description of the video so that you can see the recipe and read it for yourself. Let's get started. All right, so I've already gone ahead and zested and juiced all 4 lemons, and seems like a point of common sense, but make sure you zest the lemons first, then go ahead and juice them. And also, when it comes to lemon zest, I would highly suggest when you go to pick lemons, make sure that you pick lemons that have a pretty firm rind still, because soft rinded lemons are very difficult to zest. So make sure that you pick some lemons that still have a pretty firm rind to them. It'll make them a lot easier to zest. Okay, now that we have got the lemons zested and juiced, let's go ahead and make the frosting. So we're gonna start with, and I will tell you this right up front, I am still working on my frosting. At least this one in particular, I do know how to make it, but sometimes it runs a little thin. So I do apologize if it's a little thin, but we're gonna do our best to make sure that it's a nice, good, firm frosting with some good body. So, all right, so we're gonna take, and we are going to start with a 1/2 cup of butter, and we're gonna put that in a medium mixing bowl here. And then we're gonna take some powdered sugar. I don't actually measure it. If I had to say, we'll probably say like 2.5 to 3 cups, but this one I just do more by feel. So we're gonna dump this into the mixing bowl. And since we've had issues in the past with firmness of frosting, I'm going to go ahead, I did see this tip online, I'm gonna go ahead and just do about 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. That's all the flour I'm gonna put in here, just 1 tablespoon. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and do probably 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch, just in case. Because the thing is, we're gonna be adding lemon juice to this, and the lemon juice is definitely gonna thin this out. So do half teaspoon, maybe just a slight bit more for good measure. So, all right. Now, we're gonna mix this up with our wonderful electric mixer. I used to mix this by hand, but it's better to do it with an electric mixer. So, all right. And we're just gonna keep going on this until, all right, definitely getting thick here. So I'm gonna speed it up a little bit to just kind of throw some of that off of there. Get most of it anyway, and I think I'm gonna go ahead, just to be on the safe side, and add maybe about another 1/4 cup of butter, already softened. So the fact that so far it's looking really thick is good for me, because that means that it is, that means it's looking like it's not gonna be really runny, which is what I want. All right, so far, that consistency is looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna start to add the lemon juice and the lemon zest. And obviously the lemon juice is what is going to start to thin it down. All right, so I'm gonna take my tablespoon here and I'm gonna portion out probably, we'll start with 3 tablespoons of lemon juice here. And let's see how we're doing. Consistency's looking very good. And I think I know my problem, folks. I think I wasn't using enough butter when I did that. I was only using like a few tablespoons of it. So I just needed to add more butter to that to give this a nice, good thickness and firmness, along obviously with the flour and the cornstarch. So this is looking really good so far. All right, I'm gonna taste this real quickly. All right, let's give this a shot and see how it's tasting so far. Definitely getting there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take and add some lemon zest to this. I'll go ahead and take this same tablespoon and I'll probably do roughly about a tablespoon or so of lemon zest, maybe a little less actually. Let's see here. Yeah, about a tablespoon of lemon zest. I like the taste of it. It tastes really good in the frosting. So, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and do 1 more tablespoon of lemon juice so far. And then I'll add some more powdered sugar to this, because it's tasting good. It's just still a little bit too fluffy for my taste. Now, if you like the super light and fluffy frosting, then by all means, but I like mine with a little more body. So let's go ahead and mix this up. All right. Let's check it and see how it is. Oh yeah, definitely getting much better there. So I am going to go ahead and let's see. I might add just a touch more zest. Maybe like about 1.5 teaspoons or half a tablespoon, something like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do 1 more tablespoon. Actually probably about 3/4 of a tablespoon of the lemon juice. And that really should do it. All right. Yeah, that consistency looks much better than it used to. So, all right. Try just a little bit here. Yeah, that's good. So I think we'll go ahead and leave that. So yeah, maybe about 4 to 5 tablespoons of lemon juice. And this is gonna be to your liking, to your taste. So you do what you feel is best on that. But I love, like for me, I will say when I make something like a lemon dessert, a lot of the lemon desserts that I've seen are more like, it's like a kiss of lemon or an essence of lemon. Me, I like to actually taste lemon in my desserts. So when I do that, when I make my this cake in particular, I very much make sure that it has a very, very prominent lemon flavor. I really like that, and the people who have tried my cake before, that's one of the things that they really love about it. Excuse me, they really love that about it. So yeah, I think we're gonna leave this frosting as it is, and we're gonna set it off to the side, and then we are going to start making the actual cake. All right, now that we have got the frosting done, we're gonna go ahead and start with the cake itself, and I'm gonna start with my dry ingredients as always. We need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and this is a 1/2 cup measuring cup, so I'm gonna do 4 of these. There's 4 1/2 cups, which is my 2 cups of flour. Then we are going to do 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This is a 1/2 teaspoon portion. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 of these. There's my teaspoon of baking powder. And then I'm gonna do a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then I'm also going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I love sea salt. I don't have this portioned out, but I do know roughly about 20 turns on this is gonna be a 1/2 teaspoon. 18, 19, 20, all right? And then we're just gonna take this whisk, just mix everything together, and we're gonna set this off to the side, and we are gonna start on our wet ingredients. Okay, so now that we've got our dry ingredients mixed and put off to the side, it's time to do our wet ingredients. So I've already got my 5 eggs cracked and in the bowl. So we're gonna take a whisk and just lightly beat the eggs until they're good and scrambled. Then we're gonna take and we're going to put 2 cups of sugar. In my case, like I said, I love doing the raw sugar into our mix. 1, 2. And then we are going to take, I've already got it portioned out, 1 cup of oil. And we're gonna put that into the bowl. And then we're gonna take and we're gonna do 1 cup of the buttermilk. Now, I did this on purpose. I like putting the oil in the cup first and then pouring the buttermilk into the same cup that the oil was. That looks like about a cup or so, I think. Because what'll happen is, with the oil in there, when you pour the buttermilk in there, buttermilk naturally just, sticks to the side of a measuring cup. So if you pour the buttermilk into the same cup that you had the oil in, what happens is that buttermilk takes to the oil and most all of it pours out right here. So you just get better porridge, not Goldilocks, but just better porridge with that method. So I like to do that. Okay, we're gonna mix this up so then it just starts to look just about like that. Okay, now we're gonna take and we're going to put the rest of the lemon zest into the wet ingredients, and we are going to put the rest of the lemon juice into our mixing bowl as well. We're going to give that a nice good mix here. Mix that up just a little bit. Just like that. And just for good measure, folks, I am going to go ahead and just do maybe about 5 turns of the salt in here. Just a little bit. Helps bring out the flavor of the wet ingredients a little bit more. And then you've already got roughly about a half teaspoon of salt in your flour. Don't worry, it's definitely not going to be too much at all. Not going to be too much at all. Now that we've got that, we're going to go ahead and take our dry ingredients and we're going to pour them into our wet ingredients. Here. And I'd say roughly about half to 2/3 put in here. And like I've said before, I always put my dry ingredients into my wet ingredients, never the other way around. I'm just hand mixing this. You are more than welcome to use an electric mixer if you like, but I just like to hand mix it. So there's that. And we'll pour the rest of the dry ingredients in there. Come in. Yeah, I'm just joking. Oh man. There we go. All right, there's the rest of the dry ingredients. We're going to give this a nice good mix here. So, if you can kind of see that, having a hard time with the camera, but this, oh, that's why, sorry. All right. So this is what the batter should be looking like. Now, as you can see, it is bubbling some. That is natural and normal. It's supposed to do that. You got 5 ingredients that definitely would start to cause that. You've got lemon juice, you got baking soda, baking powder, and buttermilk in there. I was trying to think, I said 5. Might be just 4 ingredients that are causing that. The buttermilk, the baking soda, baking powder, and lemon juice all combined together. This is definitely going to bubble up. So this is natural and normal. It is definitely going to do that. And if you notice, this batter is a little bit thinner than I guess what normal cake batter would be. Perfectly fine, because it is definitely going to cook up in the oven. Definitely going to cook up. So now that we got our batter done here, it's time to go ahead and pan this up. All right. So now we're going to take, we've got a 9x13 cake pan. It's already well greased. You can put flour in it if you want to, but you don't have to. I don't like to, because I like to make sure it's got a good moist consistency, which this cake definitely does if I can untie my tongue. So we're going to take this wonderful cake batter and we're going to pour it all into the pan here. And take a rubber spatula, just get all that excess goodness out of there. Right here into the pan. That's really good right there. And now we're going to go ahead and put it into the oven. I've got it preheated to 325. Now, a lot of times with cakes, the suggested temperature is 350 degrees, but I found something out that I read online. I forget the lady's name, but she said when you bake a cake at 350 degrees, what can happen is the cake can just kind of peak up like a mountain. But if you turn it down to 325, it actually flattens it out quite a bit. And I tried that, and that is exactly what happened. I like my cakes good and flat, so we got our oven preheated to 325, and we are gonna go ahead and put this wonderful cake in here. And we'll probably say anywhere between about 30 and 40 minutes or so, but you can check it. You can pull the cake out, take yourself a toothpick, run it in the center. If it comes out clean, then you know the cake is done. If it's still got some batter on it, then it needs a few minutes, and just, adjust accordingly, and just keep checking. All right, now it is time to pull this bad boy out of the oven, and we are gonna check it. Put it up here. All right, it's time for the old toothpick test here. Switch hands. Comes out nice and clean. So it is definitely done. So we're gonna let this cake, now as you can see, I put it on a cooling rack. We're gonna let this cake cool for a while, and then once it is fully cooled, we're gonna go ahead and frost it. All right, now that our cake has completely cooled, we're gonna go ahead and frost this bad boy. So we're just gonna take some of this wonderful lemon icing that we made. I'm very happy with the thickness of it. It came out a little lighter and airier than I wanted to, but it's still good. So I'm gonna experiment more with some other different types of like buttercream frosting. I've seen some that have like a little bit of heavy whipping cream. I've seen some online that have shortening in them as well. So I'm gonna be experimenting with that, but we are just gonna ice this cake up right here. All right. And there's our frosted cake. Now it's time to cut into it and see how it tastes. All right, so we've got a piece cut now. It is time to try this decadent confection. So here we go. Here. First of all, with the cup of oil, there's not a dry spot on or in this cake. And this is an edge piece that I've got right here. Just everything is just moist. Tastes so wonderfully good. I haven't even had dinner yet, and I need to stop eating this before I end up making this cake my dinner. So anyway, so that folks is my creation, the lemon buttermilk cake with the lemon frosting. Hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you try this recipe, please let us know in the comments. We would greatly appreciate that. Speaking of which, if you like this video, please go ahead and leave a like, or excuse me, like the video, I'm sorry. Go ahead and leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so that you can get, so that you can be notified of any future uploads. So definitely greatly appreciate you being with us. We love you so much. And from our home of loving, straight to your oven. We wish you a wonderful day, wonderful week, wonderful month, everything. Bon appetit. We'll see you later. Love you all. Take care.